Good evening, everyone. We'll be starting very shortly. Thank you for joining. Please say hello in the chat so I know that you guys are online. We'll be starting very shortly. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the Friday edition of Live with Akshar, right? If you have any questions, I would love to answer them for you. Today, I'm going to go over something that I find is true for most operating principles in life, and that is you have to master the fundamentals. The fundamentals are what take you forward. I think I heard this story from a karate teacher, a martial artist once, and he said, there are only really 7 things that one must master to become a true master of the martial arts. Now, think about it. People spend years of their life to master something, and it's not about the bells and the whistles and the little intricacies or the small things. It's the basic fundamentals and how good or how well you can do them in life that makes everything possible, right? So, building wealth requires you to have certain fundamentals, some things that actually hold true and they function and they work no matter what. So, the 6 fundamentals that I'm going to give you are fundamentals that work in every kind of market, they work in every kind of situation, they work with any sort of financial situation because no matter where you are in your financial journey, if these 6 fundamentals, if you keep track or if you manage these 6 fundamentals that I'm going to discuss with you today, you will understand that this is going to be a smoother financial journey than you imagined. Initially, it might feel a little uncomfortable, maybe even a little difficult because maybe you might not know some of it, maybe you might not know all of it, maybe you might know all of it. So I'm just going to go over the 6 steps. I know that these 6 steps were some things that I had learned over time, and I don't. I didn't know that they were so well put together when I started my own journey in financial services. So let's begin. I don't want to hold, keep you away from what you're doing on a Friday night. But thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please put in the comments. So the first step. Now these are the 6 steps. Oh, sorry, I have to share my screen. Let's talk about the 6 steps. Right? Can you see my? Oh, sorry. One sec. I think. Give me 1 second. I'm almost there. Oh, there we go. Let me erase that. The 6 steps to build generational wealth. Sorry. Let's begin. Step 1. Most people will ask me questions about step 1, and they'll understand this differently. So, first things first, increase cash flow. Now, when I say increase cash flow, what you want to do is earn additional income. That's one way to increase cash flow. And then on the back end, you want to learn properly how to manage your expenses. Now, each one of these bullet points, each thing that I'm going to cover is going to require, or can require, a very in-depth explanation, and that can be each one of these lives that I do every night. I'm not going to get too much into it. I just want to go over the 6 steps right now, and I want to make sure that I give you all 6 first, and then we can actually cover this for the coming week. I think this will be a wonderful tool for us to move forward. So, earning additional income can either be adding hours to the current job that you do, plus taking on more responsibility at the current job or business that you have. Maybe create a new sort of offering at your business. Maybe something that we call cross-relational product or cross-marketing. Managing expenses obviously is cutting down on some things that where it doesn't impact the needle. What I mean by that is if you can provide the same kind of service, the same attention to detail, the same quality for some lower price, or by cutting down on certain expenses, definitely want to manage expenses. Let's come to step 2. Step 2 is something that a lot of people need help with, and I feel for the people who are truly in a situation where it becomes hard to manage. But if you take care of step 1 with a little more challenge, with a little more discomfort, then it becomes easier to start working on debt management, right? Debt management first is consolidating your debt, because that's what makes most people stay in that hole, because they don't consolidate debt. When I say consolidate debt, I basically mean the interest rates that you're paying to credit cards or to car loans or to anywhere there's a high interest rate. You want to consolidate to a lower rate, right? And you want to make sure that as you're consolidating, you're eliminating as much debt as possible. Now, as that is happening, you want to make sure that in both of these, when your cash flow increases, you want to keep your expenses down. At the same time, you want to make sure that with your increased cash flow, you can use that increased cash flow, correct, up here, to manage this. And then make sure, step by step, you eliminate debt, right? That will get you out of the hole faster. That will also help you get better at what you're already providing. Let's talk about step 3, right? In this 6th step, this step I feel a lot of people don't pay attention to, but I think especially now with the economy that we're in, I think this is something that should be definitely looked at. Anyone who has done this, hats off to you. I think you should do it no matter what kind of debt you're in, no matter what kind of situation you're in. As long as you have the income coming in, I think you should definitely be prepared for an emergency fund. Now, usually what I do is I call it the bucket method, right? You want to make sure you have a bucket of money that you do not touch. You leave it as it is. The emergency fund for every family, for every household is different. Usually recommend saving, anywhere from 3 to 6 months of expenses, of your expenses of living, right? So 3 months of, in fact, I don't even say expenses, I say 3 months of income. Because if you have income where you can make, where you actually are saving some money, it's great to have 3 to 6 months of saving of income put aside. And then obviously, this is to be prepared for unexpected expenses, right? Now, this is self-explanatory. Just make sure you take care of this. Make sure you do this the right way. Step 4. This is where most people frown at me. Why do they frown at me? Because I enough the importance of what I'm going to tell you next. It has to be done right, because you can take a lot of stress off your plate just by doing this. Make sure you have the proper type of protection for everything that you own or that is dear to you. So, first thing you want to prepare against is you want to protect yourself against loss of income. Now the question is, hey, listen, what happens? I have a little bit of money saved here. We're gonna have a little bit, of this emergency fund here. Why do I have to do this? I'll tell you why. Because that money is a cushion never to be touched. Then why should I have that cushion? Because that cushion will give you the confidence to take good long-term decisions. This is what builds confidence. This is what ensures that you are protecting not just yourself, but the people you love, and obviously your future, right? So first thing is protecting against loss of income, and then obviously protection of family assets. What do I mean by family assets? If you are watching live, I'd love to hear from you. What do I mean by family assets? A family asset is an asset that usually is something that pays off, or gets paid off, rather, something that gets paid off and then benefits your family in the long run, right? So say you getting proper sort of home insurance, just an example, car insurance, things like that. You want to make sure that you are protecting your family assets in a way where no one can attack it, no one can get to it. If something happens to you, if you have loss of income, you don't have to worry about your family suffering. So you have good quality of life, right? So this gives you the confidence. Having the emergency fund gives you the confidence. And having this gives you peace of mind. And not just you, but your family has some peace of mind, right? Now, let's get to step 5, because step 5 is where things get a little confusing for some people, because people think, I am going to build wealth by putting my money at risk. So let's come to this, right? First things first, outpace inflation, right? What do I mean by outpace inflation? That means your money should grow faster than inflation. If inflation is 4% and the bank gives you 2% on your money, are you growing faster or are you growing slower? That's a question to be answered, right? So you have to outpace inflation, first of all. And second thing that you have to be aware of when you do this is you have to actively manage your money. What I mean by that is you want to make sure you have someone who knows what they're doing. Talk to them, get some sort of help. Feel free to get an expert involved. When you do active money management, you learn things that you never knew. You learn about if you gain money in the stock market, you have to pay capital gains tax on it. That's a common one. I think most people who invest in the market know about that already. Did you know there's a way to grow your money close to market-like returns and still not pay tax on it? Now, see, that's active money management if you understand how to do that, right? This is where I feel once you have the confidence, once you have the peace of mind, this is where a lot of people lack education. So now you get curious. I like this word. I like curiosity because it makes you ask the right questions. Correct? Now, let's get to the last step, which I feel most people just assume will work out once they're gone, is have the proper way to preserve your wealth, right? What do I mean by preserving wealth? Preserving wealth is very simple. First of all, you want to avoid probate. If you don't know what probate is, it's because you haven't dealt with someone in your life or someone who you could have gotten something from when they passed and they didn't have a will or trust. Correct? Here's the thing. If there's an asset that has no owner after the current owner passes away, probate gets involved. The government gets involved. Now, if there's a will in place, there's a different trajectory. There's a different way your money gets handled, your assets get handled. If there's a will and trust in place, then you can actually build more wealth as time goes on, and it can be actually much faster. On top of that, it compounds faster. And the other thing is you do not want too much of it. Obviously, the fair share I agree with, but definitely you want to make sure that you are able to diversify and reduce taxes. Because if that doesn't happen, guess what? Your inheritance can be controlled by the government, and that is not something you want. I'll tell you why. Because the government looks as an asset, but more importantly, looks to an asset as a cash machine for them, right? So if it's not done right, if your will and trust and your legacy transfer is not set up right, it can hurt your next generations in the long term. So these are the 6 simple steps to build wealth. I say simple. Some of these you might understand very well. Some of these you might not understand very well. So I would recommend get someone involved, someone who's an expert, someone who understands it, someone who deals with this on a day-to-day basis. Definitely I can help you. I'm not trying to be self-serving here, but this is where my curiosity, my education, and my knowledge of the financial industry started. And this is where I began my journey, and that is the reason I am here today talking to you about this stuff, because I had to face probate when my father passed away. I had to face the idea of how to outpace inflation when I didn't have an income. I had to face the idea of how do I increase cash flow? How do I add an additional stream of income or earn more money or manage my expenses properly? I had to face all these things, and I wish and I hoped I would have had this information 10, 11, 12 years ago. So I'm trying my best to bring it to people today, as many people as possible, through sharing it online, through having seminars in my office for free. Obviously, I'm not charging for this because I don't think information like this should be kept secret or be charged for. I think everyone deserves to know this and more, and I feel it is my responsibility and my mission to bring this to as many people as possible on the planet. Right now, I'm starting with the United States because that's where I have a license, but eventually I would like to go worldwide. That being said, these are the 6 steps, and I like that number 6 because if someone is actually truly interested in earning an additional income, I am looking for 6 people to mentor in the next 31 days. Well, not 30 days because March 1st. In the next 30 days, who truly want to increase their income. please get in touch with me if you truly want to earn an additional income and are looking to learn more about financial services, to give people the confidence, the peace of mind, and add to their curiosity, and definitely have the right solution for the legacy of their family. So I want to make sure that I provide the best of the best value. If you have any questions, anything that you would like me to talk about beyond this, please put it in the comments. I will be doing a live on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. talking about education, kids' education planning. So if you have friends who might be interested or are looking, let me actually share that for you here as a screenshot. Give me 1 second. So it's Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. I will be going live on my YouTube channel at 10 a.m. Actually, I'll be coming on here on Instagram as well. Let me do this so you can screenshot the rest. I'll be going live on Instagram as well, but I will be live on my YouTube channel Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. So this way you don't have to go anywhere. You can come here or you can join me on YouTube. Whichever works best for you guys, I am open to it. Hold on 1 second. I just want to make sure that you guys get all this information. It's on my YouTube channel. Do you have... It's my YouTube is the same as my Instagram. It's at AIM Finances. So if you are interested in joining me on my YouTube, especially 10 a.m. Sunday morning, I will be there answering questions as well as discussing alternatives to kids' education planning. Anyone you know who might be interested, who you think can be served by this information, definitely please join. Let's talk about it. And I want to make sure that I provide the most amount of value for the time that you're giving me. So I will end my live for you tonight. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, listening to me. I hope I provided value. If you liked what I said, if you enjoyed this session, if it brought value to you, please make sure you leave me a comment or some sort of reaction in the comment boxes, whatever works for you guys. I just want to know that I am actually doing something that is worthwhile for you, and I can add something of value to you. I would love to do as much as possible to provide more value. If you have anything that you would like me to discuss in the future, anything that you would need information on, anything you want to learn, anything you're curious about in the financial industry, again, let me know. My email is here. And if you look at the last part of this scrolling ticker here at AIM Finances on YouTube is my YouTube channel. In fact, if you go into the live section of my YouTube channel, you can see all the lives I've done in the past. And thank you so much. Thank you. I am truly grateful that you joined me today. And it's a Friday night. I hope you're having fun. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will be live again tomorrow evening. Oh, excuse me. I will be live again tomorrow evening. And Sunday morning, 10 a.m., I will be going live again to discuss a smarter choice for kids' education from a financial perspective. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. It was lovely talking to you guys. And be safe, be warm if you're on the East Coast, or be cool if you're, where there's like 90-degree weather. But be safe, enjoy the company of loved ones, and thank you very much. It's a blessing to have you here.